Hello, it's good to be with you all again by video. I hope you enjoyed the live stream worship on Sunday, and as you see, the team are doing better and better and better with the technology and what they can deliver. They're quite an amazing bunch of people. At yesterday's staff meeting, we had a bit of a discussion for Pastor Faith, Pastor Tony and myself, about a whole bunch of things. And one of the things we often do is we just reflect on what God's doing and what we're seeing around the church in terms of people's faith walk and so on. And Pastor Tony's made a comment. He said, faith is getting quite real. And I thought, something went off in me, and I thought, that's spot on comment from Pastor Tony. And I was reminded of a quote from Dr. Samuel Johnson, who was a 18th century poet, playwright, biographer, lexiconographer and literary giant in 18th century England. And he once said this, he said, when a man is about to be hanged, his mind becomes wonderfully focused. And I know that's a bit of a morbid thought in some ways, but what he was saying was, when the chips are really down and when the challenge is on, the heat is on, suddenly we get real. And I think what Pastor Tony was saying was that in this environment when there's so much restriction, there's so much challenge and so much difficulty, people's faith is getting real. And I thought, you know what, that's not a bad thing. That is a good thing. Sometimes it takes a bit of a shake-up. Sometimes it takes someone rattling our cage for us to get real. Sometimes when we come under condemnation from the enemy about our sin, or conviction about our sin from the Holy Spirit, we take stock and we get real again. And I think in this season that we have, and nobody's caused it in Australia, I know that, this pandemic, but the consequences, the implications, what we're all struggling with, jobs being lost, salaries being cut back, opportunities lost and so forth, we're getting real. And I think this is a good thing. I'm not saying that God does horrible things to make people get real. Sometimes he does allow difficulty. Sometimes he does allow challenge. And sometimes in that his judgment, which is about putting things back to rights again, or getting us to have right priorities again, causes us to have a rethink. We get real with our faith. I want to encourage you as you face challenges in this season that we're in, and as you reflect and you reevaluate, that your faith becomes real. In chapter 1 of 1 Peter, he talks about how with all kinds of trials and suffering, our faith, basically my interpretation is, in a nutshell, would be our faith gets real. And that's a good thing. If our faith is much stronger now than when we come out of this, before we went in, I think that's a good thing. Now be encouraged and let faith get really real to you. Get wonderfully focused on what's really important. And we'll all be different people as a result after this all ends. Well, that's enough for today. I hope you're doing well. It's good to see you at prayer meetings and so forth on Zoom. And groups, it's great to have groups back this week. I'm looking forward to being with mine tonight. May God bless you. Hang in there and get real with your faith. Blessings.